This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Hello, good evening, everybody. It's Saturday night. It's May 14 at 10 p.m. in Los Angeles or in the Pacific. If you're watching from the US, magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Good evening. And if you're watching from the Philippines, it is Sunday exactly at 1 p.m. Magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat. And if you're watching in any parts of the world, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Before we start, let me tell you first that live na live po kami ngayon on PHLV Radio Facebook page. Also, live na live din po sa PHLV YouTube channel. So if you're not a subscriber yet, what are you waiting for? Do like, share, and subscribe. And if you have Alexa, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play PHLV Radio. And if you have Amazon Fire TV, just look for PHLV Radio channel. And if you are doing the audio streaming, we're live na live din po kami right now on different podcasts, namely Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And again, those people who are curious or are asking if they missed any of the shows of PHLV Radio, wala pong problema and no worries at all. You could easily go back to our YouTube channel, or you could definitely go to our website, which is www.phlvradio.com. That ganun po kasimple. And maraming salamat for those people who watched the show yesterday. It was a fun show with, alam mo ba, with Josh and Andowitt. So that was the next interesting show. It's Matthews po dito sa Philippines. Anyway, there's a lot of things going on in the Philippines. Brief lang po. Obviously, with the 31 million votes, it's unofficial and not partial. It's unofficial, and the COMELEC canvassing is still going on. It seems like we have already a president for the Philippines, and that's none other than Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Overwhelming po yung lamang. So as of today, two presidents for world leaders are calling him already, congratulating him, and to my understanding, American President Joe Biden already called and congratulated Bongbong Marcos, as well as the Chinese president. So yun po, yun ang kaganapan as far as the election halalan 2022. And then those people naman po asking for ano ba talaga ang result or what is going on as far as the vice presidency. The vice president po, again, it seems like Sara Duterte is going to be the vice president for the Philippines for the next 6 years, simply because ang kanya pong lamang ay overwhelming na 31 million plus din po. These are unofficial, but it seems like that's going to be the trend once the COMELEC is done with their canvassing. So yun po, ang, for the senator, I'm not going to give you the whole slate kasi medyo nagbabago-bago pa yung 11, 12, placed. So, but I could give you the number one senator as far as election is concerned. It is Robin Padilla, the actor, followed by Loren Legarda, and then third po I see Mark Villar of Department of Public Works and Highways. So once all this become official, definitely we will share that with you. And I know PHLV Radio will definitely post that as well. That being said, naku, exciting po ang ating storya today. And I'll be needing help kasi po wala pa rin po si Ate Jen sa ating, hindi pa rin po siya nakakabalik for some reason or another. So hanapin ko lang po ang ating letter sender today. Okay, si Sylvia po ang ating letter sender. And I'm trying to get hold of the letter. Ito po, hold on. I'm trying to get in there. Okay, here it is. Ang title po for today is Pinagtagpo pero hindi tinadhana. Again, the episode for today is Pinagtagpo pero hindi tinadhana. Okay, so we'll start. So those people watching and also listening, I need your help. To help Sylvia, ating letter sender. And she's 28 years old at isang executive sa isang insurance company. Okay, ito po ang sabi niya. Dear Kuya Jush, how are you po? Greetings from the beautiful Philippines. Is it right to give up? My name is Sylvia, 28 years old, single, an executive in an insurance company. My story is about giving up on someone I love so deeply and dearly. Kuya Jush, siya po ay si Lawrence. 28 years old din po siya at an engineer. Kuya Jush, I love Lawrence so much that writing my story makes me cry profusely. We met at Starbucks when I accidentally bumped into him while holding my cold latte. Naibuhos ko ang latte ko sa kanya. It was an accident, but he was such a gentleman that he did not get upset. He said no problem and took off his shirt. Grabe, yes, he has an Adonis-like body. Kinilig ako like a little girl. I apologized to him and begged him to tell me how I can make up for what had happened. He said, go out with me and I will pay for dinner. As if naman I will not say yes. Chance ko na to, no? Ang gwapo kaya niya. We went out for dinner and talked until the restaurant closed. Hindi niya ako pinagbayad dahil dapat raw ang lalaki ang dapat nagbabayad. Super ako na-impress sa gesture niya. After 3 months of courtship, I said yes to him. He is the perfect boyfriend. So generous, so loving, so romantic. Wala na yata akong mahihiling pa sa isang boyfriend. Ang only problem his mother o yung nanay niya does not like me, ayaw sa akin. She is a strong woman who would only like the best for her children. The reason why she does not like me, anak kasi po ako sa labas. I'm a product out of wedlock. Kuya Jush, it was not my fault, di ba? Hindi ko ginusto naman maging anak sa labas. It was not a problem. Hindi naman problema kay Lawrence yon. Pero sa nanay niya, isang malaking pintas ito para sa akin. Hirap ako, Kuya Jush, sa nanay niya, kitang-kita ko na ang magiging sitwasyon ko with her mother once Lawrence asked me to marry him. Meaning pagpapakasalan siya. Kuya Jush, alam mo bang harap-harapan sasabihin niya na ayaw niya sa akin, na mas better si Lawrence with someone else. At lagi niyang nirereto pa si Lawrence sa mga anak ng mga kaibigan niya. Tumagal din ang relasyon namin ni Lawrence ng 5 taon. Iwas na lang ako lagi sa nanay niya. Ang pinakamasakit na nangyari sa aming relasyon when I found out he had a child when while we are still together. To this day, I never asked Lawrence when and why. All I know, it was a setup by his mother to one of her good friend's daughter. Lawrence confessed that it happened while I was away in Singapore for a conference. He told me his mother threw a party with all her friends and their daughters. They were dancing and drinking the whole night. All he remembered, he woke up with one of the friend's daughter in bed. He was so sorry and thought it was just a one-night stand until he was told the girl got pregnant. Kuya Jush, Kuya Jush, alam ko na Lawrence would do the right thing. I know he would not like to abort the child. His only request to his mother is for me not to know what happened and to keep everything a secret. Tama ang kasabihan, walang lihim na hindi nabubunyag. Paano ko ba nalaman tungkol sa baby? In one of Lawrence's family dinner, one of the friends gave a gift for Lawrence's child daw. Nagulat ako. I approached the friend and asked what she said. Pinaulit ko uli ang sinabi niya. Siguro hindi niya alam ang dynamics namin ng mommy or mother ni Lawrence. So sabi niya sa akin, oo, para kay Chloe yon, anak ni Lawrence. Anak ni Lawrence? Wala namang pa kaming anak. Hindi pa naman kami kasal. Parang namatay ako sa narinig ko, Kuya Jush. Dahil sa baby nila ng babaeng nireto ng mother niya, naisip kong ipaubaya na siya sa kanila. Masakit man, ngunit kailangan gawin dahil yon ang tama. Mahal na mahal ko si Lawrence, pero kailangan din niyang panindigan ang baby nila. Ngayon super lungkot ako dahil sa desisyon ko. Nagpaubaya ako hindi dahil hindi ko na siya mahal, kundi kailangan niyang gawin at panindigan niya ang ginawa niya. Para sa baby niya at para matahimik na rin ang nanay niya. Si Lawrence, panay pa rin ang punta sa bahay pero di ko siya kinikita o hinaharap. Kuya Jush, tama ba ang ginawa ko? Bakit ang sakit-sakit pa rin sa puso ko? Masugid na taga-subaybay at more power po sa inyong show. Sylvia. Ayan. Nako, ating medyo yung ating letter today kay Sylvia. Hanapin ko lang so I could go live. Manghihiram muna ako ng phone. Okay? Para makita ko yung mga nanonood. Dali lang, kahiram ng phone. Hindi ko kasi makita. Ayaw magpakita dito sa phone ko. So anyway, yung sulat ay galing kay Sylvia. It is an interesting letter kasi nga obviously mahal na mahal pa rin niya si Lawrence. Okay. Tapos, ang nangyari nga, nagpaubaya si Sylvia. Parang sinasabi niya, ito nga, they've been together for 5 years. At ang sabi nga niya, medyo mahirap. Doon sa pala kung hindi nagte-text sa akin, hindi maka-live sa inyong place is because po malakas ang ulan right now some parts of the Philippines. So, yun po ang kaganapan ngayon. So, if you're having a difficulty connecting, it is because po sa nangyayaring ngayon sa ulan. Ang lakas ng ulan. Walang bagyo pero it's raining profusely. So anyways, yung sabi nga ni Ate Sylvia o ni Sylvia, she's 28 years old and single and they've been in the relationship for 5 years. Tama, 5 years ni Lawrence. Si Lawrence naman, ang ganda kasi yung kanilang nangyari, yung parang they got into yung kanilang meeting, sabi nga sa DPT yung meeting nila, it's a wonderful chance. O sabi ni Adele Ordinario, nakapasok na si Adele. Sabi ni Adele, good morning everyone. Hi Adele. Adele is watching from Long Beach, California. Sabi po ni Sylvia, yun nga yung nabuhusan niya ng cold latte. Tapos yun nga, yun ang first meeting nila. Di ba parang it was in my mind when I was reading the letter, it was kind of destiny. Because 'di ba, yung mga ganung pangyayari, hindi naman nangyayari sa araw-araw sa atin 'yon. Okay, but it is what happened. Tapos po, I'm trying to log in myself para makita ko yung mga comments nyo. Kasi I'm just reading it through the comments of another phone. Hindi pa sa akin yung phone. It so happened pala, so kahit na very generous tong si Lawrence, ang problema talaga yung mga nanay. So, kasi siyempre, hindi mo naman masisisi all the nanays in the world, they only want the best for their kids. Ang naging problema kasi dito, si Juliet Marcos is watching as well. Tapos si Adele Ordinario, like what I said, was watching. Tapos ganito, so yung nanay ay may pagkabitsera sa kanya because anak po siya sa labas. Kumbaga, and what she's saying is hindi naman niya kasalanan. And true enough, it's not her fault. May mga bagay kasi nangyayari sa buhay natin na hindi naman natin inaasahan at nangyayari na lang. Pero yun ang nagiging problema niya, being with Lawrence and with the relationship. Pero wag ka ha, yung relasyon nila nag-last ng 5 years. Okay? At na medyo naudlot lang or nagkaroon lang ng problema noong hindi na siya nakalagin na ako. Finally, okay, share ko to ha. Hirap kasi, and hopefully next week I should be back in town. Okay? Ang dami mga comments kasi. Okay. So si Sylvia ngayon, so pinagpatuloy pa rin niya, iwas-pusin na lang siya sa nanay ni Lawrence. However, what happened is, yun nga, sabi nga niya sa letter, yung pala nakabuntis itong si Lawrence, and it all happened dahil doon sa parting binigay ng nanay ni Lawrence sa kanya. Okay? Tapos nalaman lang niya, di ba, how ironic yung kanilang meeting was chance meeting sa Starbucks, yung first meeting nila 5 years ago, and then tapos nalaman naman niya yung sa baby ni Lawrence through that eventful dinner sa family ni Lawrence. So it was so sad to know, kasi kahit naman saan, di ba, parang ang sakit naman na malaman mo na meron palang na-disgrasya o na may nangyari pala kay Lawrence while she was away. So medyo masakit yon to anybody. Kasi nga, Adela, marinig mo to, I need your advice. So ngayon, dahil nga sa nangyari, nalaman niya may baby, itong si Sylvia, ang ginawa niya, pinaubaya na lang niya. Siguro to end the problem, dahil nga hindi naman siya matanggap-tanggap ng nanay ni Lawrence. At the same time, to find out pa na may baby na o nakadisgrasya nga si Lawrence. And what Sylvia was saying, itong si Lawrence would do the right thing. Hindi niya papalaglag yung bata, itutuloy yun. So ngayon, nagtatanong si Sylvia, yun ang kailangang tulong natin kay Adele, kay Juliet, at kung kanino pang nakikinig at nanonood ng ating broadcast, anong dapat niyang gawin? Tama ba na nagpaubaya siya? Tama ba na siya ang magsasacrifice? Tama ba for the sake of the baby and then to makaiwas na dun sa nanay ni Lawrence, siya ang nagpaubaya, nag-give way siya. Meaning she walk away from the 5-year relationship. Ngayon, siya ang nasasaktan, siya ang nahihirapan, at siya ang laging malungkot at laging umiiyak. Ito na. Yun ang essence, yun ang synopsis ng letter ni Sylvia. Medyo sinamarize ko na lang. Okay, ito yung aking point of view while we're waiting for some help from our viewers as well as our as listeners. Firstly, Sylvia, nagpapasalamat ako at pinagkatiwala mo yung letter mo dito sa Dear Kuya Jush and Ate Jen. Ako kasi, firstly, i-discuss lang natin. Yung sa nanay kasi, although the nanay is not agreeable or not accepting sa'yo, dahil sabi mo nga, anak ka sa labas, that should not really be an impact on you. Maybe siguro yung kultura, yung Philippine culture. Kasi sa American culture, or I know a lot of Filipinos abroad, ang lagi sinasabi nila, lalo na pag kunyari foreigner yung magiging karelasyon mo, they don't really think about the family. More of kayong dalawa ang importante. However, I understand coming from the Philippines, sabi mo nga, you're in Manila, naintindihan ko yung dynamics din. Kasi ang Filipino would always want approval sa family members. Kaya nga, di ba, pag yung mga guys ay nanliligaw, nagsisibak ng kahoy, the olden days, nanunuyo, namamanikan, or dumadalaw sa bahay kasi gusto nila talagang ma-win, ma-put yung mga pamilya, kapatid, tatay, nanay sa side nila. And likewise, yung kasi nga, intindihan ko as much that I'm trying to understand kasi kung saan ka nanggagaling. Kasi mahirap rin naman yung pinagdadaanan mo. Although, some people na nakausap ko prior to this broadcast, sabi niya, keber, yun pa nga pagka-word eh. Keber, hindi naman yung nanay yung papakisamahan niya eh. Di iwas pusoy na lang siya. At the same time, parang wag niyang intindihin kung hindi siya type ng nanay. Kasi wala naman talaga magagawa si Sylvia simply because yun ang realidad. Anak siya sa buho, out of wedlock, anak siya sa labas. So it's not something that Sylvia asked for herself, di ba? Yung kumbaga, hindi naman niya ninais o ginusto na magkaganon sa buhay niya. It just so happened it did happen. So yun. Tapos si Ninita Marcos is watching. Hello Ninita. Gina Marcos is watching. My gosh, Panay Marcos to. Ano kaya ibig sabihin nito? Panay Marcos. Related kaya sila kay Bongbong Marcos? Kasi yung Marcos, di ba? Si Cha Marcos, another Marcos is watching. Parang BBM ang manonood sa akin today. Nasaan ang mga pink people, ang mga Lenny people, parang Marcos lagi ang nanonood ng show. Joke lang po. Now, so anyway, going back, yun nga, yung sinasabi ko earlier, kung ibang lahi, a lot of times they really don't worry too much yung background mo. As long as na hindi ka killer, hindi ka drug addict, hindi ka pusher, hindi ka may criminal record, nagiging problema yun. Pero yung being a child out of wedlock or anak sa labas, it's really not that of a big deal. At least for my book, in my book, hindi siya big deal kasi hindi mo naman, it was not like, it was your intention na maging anak sa buho or it was deliberate. Okay, so yung sa nanay, naintindihan ko with the Philippine culture, I don't agree with it 100%, but I do understand where Sylvia's coming from. Now, yung naman tungkol doon sa anak, naintindihan ko rin yun, Sylvia, na pinapaubaya mo para panindigan. Alam mo, Sylvia, ito masasabi ko from a male point of view, hindi naman kailangan ipaubaya mo si Lawrence kasi pwede nyo namang isupport yung bata. Hindi naman kailangan porkit nakadisgrasya si Lawrence o dahil doon sa one night stand na nangyari sa kanila nung anak nung friend ng nanay ni Lawrence, kailangan ng pakasalan yung babae. Remember, marriage, hindi yan ginagawa as an excuse simply basta nakabuntis ka. Marriage should be a union of two souls, two bodies into one. Sabi nga, kailangan pag magpakasal ka and having a child dahil nakabuntis ka o nakadisgrasya o may nabuntis ka o nabuntis ka, it doesn't mean na kailangan pakasalan mo talaga yung nakadisgrasya sa iyo. Pwede naman way of support. 'Di ba? May pwede namang suportahan na lang ninyo o ni Lawrence muna kung hindi pa kayo kasal, suportahan niyo muna ang bata, 'di ba? Hindi naman total abandonment. Okay, before I continue with my point of view, eto si Julius Marcos, si Juliet. Hello, Juliet is watching from Laguna. May mga taong akala natin sila na yung taong minahal natin ng sobra-sobra, pero darating ito sa punto na may bagay na hindi talaga para sa isa't isa. Totoo naman. Okay, si Adele. Okay, sabi nga ni talaga may dumadating talaga, sabi nga, naging joke nga sa circle ng mga kaibigan ko, lagi raw merong palayok, may takip ang bawat palayok. So meaning, in the great story of the world, talagang may katapat ka, meron ka talagang kumbaga magiging soulmate. The essence now is the goal is to find this particular person para kung mahanap mo na to, you should live happily ever after, parang fairy tale. Oh, and totoo rin yung sinabi ni Juliet na minsan may dumarating sa buhay natin na mahal natin sobra-sobra. Totoo rin yon, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Pero totoo rin yung sinabi niya, may mga bagay na hindi talaga para sa isa't isa. Totoo yon. Pero in this particular case, may way, hindi kailangan ni Sylvia magpaubaya. Simply because yung nangyari sa kanila, hindi naman ganoong, kumbaga, not to look the other way. There's other ways of doing it. Hindi kailangan ipamigay niya o ipaubaya niya si Lawrence na mahal nila ang isa't isa. O si Adele. Hi Adele, salamat. I did walk away from the dad ng youngest daughter ko and raise my daughter by myself without child support. Wow. Kinaya ko kesa ma-stress ako sa ama ng my choice. Yung boyfriend mo should man up kahit man lamang yung anak mo. Okay. O, ulitin ko medyo nawala ako doon I did, sabi niya, grabe Adela, thank you for sharing this detail about your life. Sabi niya, I did walk away from the dad of the youngest daughter ko and raise my daughter by myself without child support. Kinaya ko kesa ma-stress ako sa ama. My choice, yung boyfriend mo should man up kahit man lang yung anak mo. Tama naman Adele. Firstly, thank you. Hindi ko alam yun and I know Adele for quite some time now, but I didn't know that. So thank you for sharing this na yun pala yung kwento mo. Minsan tala mo ila-live kita kasi parang marami kang maikukwento ng kakapulutan ng aral at mga makaka-inspire din sa mga listeners and viewers natin. Okay, tapos si Carmi Santos is watching. My daughter was my daughter was only 3 months old that time. See, ito yung sinasabi ko di ba? Ito yung sinasabi ko, like what I agree with Adele. Sometimes naman, for example, yung na-disgrasya ni Lawrence, hindi naman kailangang obligahin niya na pakasalan siya. I would assume parang buena pamilya naman sila because you could tell naman sa kwento ni Sylvia na may kaya at para maging bitsera yung nanay ni Lawrence. Ngayon, ang tama yung sinabi ni Adele, may mga babae na very strong na pwede namang erase yung child na hindi kailangan pakasalan yung ama na buntis sa kanya. So, yung pagpapaubaya, Sylvia, hindi talaga ako agreeable Yung sabi mo nga, nagkatagpo pero hindi tinadhana. Pwede naman yun ma-reverse. Yung pag nagkatagpo kayo, right, pero yung sa'yo kasi parang napakabigat. Obviously, your heart is not there. Parang sinasabi mo nga dahil yun ang tama. Minsan kasi, Sylvia, the way I look at it, ipaglaban mo kung mahal mo talaga si Lawrence. Don't give up. Kasi if Lawrence, like sabi mo, Lawrence is so generous, so giving, super talaga perfect boyfriend. And that mistake, assuming it's a mistake, yung one night stand, the power of the alcohol, tapos wala ka, you were in Singapore. So, you don't know what took place there Ang sinasabi nga lang, talagang may nangyari at nagbunga ito ng God's gift na child. Pero the child should not be an excuse or even a reason for you to give Lawrence away at ipaubaya mo. So I don't agree with that. Sorry I really don't agree na dapat ipaubaya mo si Lawrence at dun sa bata. Kasi there are tons of other ways where hindi ka pa rin magiging masasabing masama dahil hindi mo give up si Lawrence. Giving up someone you love is not really it's not a sacrifice one should do. Kung talagang mahal mo yung tao, sabi nga, kung mahal mo yung paglaban mo, yung sa'yo, tapos yung sa nanay na against sa'yo, that should not be really an issue. Kasi hindi mo naman magiging kasama sa bahay yung nanay. At yung nanay, malay mo, in the course of things, kapag kunyari nagkatuloy kayo ni Lawrence, matututuhan ka rin mahalin ng nanay ni Lawrence. Diba? Yung pagdating ng panahon, dahil mapapakita mo how good you are as a person, how good you are as a daughter-in-law. Kasi minsan, diba, sabi nga, wala namang hindi nababago ng panahon. Wala naman tao na hindi masusuklian ng kabutihan if you're giving them kindness. Okay, si Desi Santos is watching as well. Hi Des. Happy viewing sa'yo. So yun, yung sa mga nakikinig at ibigay nyo lang po yung mga komento nyo kung tama bang nagpaubaya itong si Sylvia. At tapos Sylvia, ang maganda kasi, nakita mo, kahit na nagpaubaya ka o you give way, bumabalik pa rin sa'yo si Lawrence. Sabi mo nga, panay pa rin ang punta niya sa bahay mo, hindi mo lang nga hinaharap. I think you should. Kasi parang kung nahirapan ka, what more si Lawrence also, nahirapan din siya. At saka, is that something you're gonna throw away, 5 years of relationship? Parang it's so unfair naman, di ba? O dagdag pa ni Adele, it takes two to tango. Tama, hindi lang isang tao yan. Pareho ninyong responsibility yung bata. I like that. Tama naman. The mom, hindi ninyo kasiping sa kama. That's not your happiness. Tama. You know what? Tama si Adele. Adele, I agree with you 100%. Yung nanay ni Lawrence, hindi niyo siya kasiping sa kama. She's not with you in the bed or on the bed. So, kumbaga may buhay din yun. Nagkataon lang talaga. Kasi parang sa akin ang babaw kasi ng reason na para hindi ka gustuhin because you're anak sa labas. I mean, it's in this day and age hindi yung isolated case. In this day and age, siguro 8 out of 10 people na makakakilala mo o makakasalamuha mo, it has a narrative to tell. Makikita mo na parang being a second family, being a child of wedlock, hindi na siya isolated case na parang mapapawaw ka. Parang, okay, at least in my circle, kahit meron kaming mga ganung storya, hindi siya talaga nagiging issue. I don't know why the mother of Lawrence is making that an issue. Kasi 'di ba? And we understand, sabi nga niya, naintindihan naman niya na all mothers they always desire, parents for that matter, you want the best for your kids. You want the best na sabi nga they will do everything to make sure that you are well provided. Pero at the end of the day, dapat iniisip rin ng nanay na kung masaya si Lawrence kay Sylvia, the mother, I hopefully marinig to nung nanay ni Lawrence, you need to let go. Kasi kung talagang mahal naman ng anak mo yung si Sylvia, at other than yun na lang na anak sa labas si Sylvia, na hindi naman niya ginusto, it was not her choice, you should not meddle firstly sa love life ng anak mo. I understand all parents would like the best for their kids, but you understand also that you should be looking forward na maging masaya yung anak mo. Mothers, fathers, for that matter, ang talagang normally gusto lang talaga nila maging masaya ang mga anak nila. Sabi nga ni Gina, si Gina Marcos is watching as well. Another Marcos in the midst. Sabi nga, di ba, yun ang laging ginugol ng mga magulang is to find for them, for their kids to find happiness. O si CM Maguire is watching. Diba? Si CM. Si Maguire, ano ba to si CM Maguire? Is he a female or male? Dapat di mo pinaubaya si kuya. Oo, ando na tayo, may anak, pero syempre, mahirap din sa side ni kuya, di siya happy sa sitwasyon niya. Alam mo, CM, I agree with you. Text mo naman kung if you are a male or a female. So at least I know how to address you. Okay, tama naman. Kasi alam mo, Sylvia, sorry parang dating sa akin kasi may pagka-selfish din yung decision mo. Kasi hindi naman hinihiling ni Lawrence to let him go. I don't know whether it was a mutually agreed decision. Or I don't know whether there was a discussion between the two of you. Ay ikaw lang yung parang nag-give up sa kanya. So imagine mo the pain that Lawrence is going through. 5 years kayo in relationship, then you found out. I think that the error there is naglihim. The error there, the mistake there, to be honest, is yung paglilihim. Kasi in a relationship, you should be very transparent. In any relationship, you should really be transparent for it to work. Lagi ko sabi sa mga kaibigan ko, in life kasi we should avoid yung mga secret na yan. Kasi we've seen so many soaps, so many teleseries, is kapag naglihim ka. Kasi I always believe naman na wala namang lihim na hindi malalaman. Eventually, it will be out in the open. It would be better and it would be easier had Lawrence told you instead of hearing from a friend. So I think more of shock ang nangyari sa'yo. Okay, before I continue, si Adele midagdag, the mom of Lawrence, napaka-judgmental. The mom of Lawrence, napaka-judgmental. Yung mga ganyang tao ang may black shadow. Jeez. Go, ituloy ninyo relationship niyo and be a family. Galing talaga ni Adele. Talagang tama yon. I agree with Adele's. Go, ituloy ninyong relasyon. Kasi yung nanay, put it aside. Kasi hindi naman siya magiging kasama eh. Sabi nga ni Adele earlier. Siguro you visit her once a while or once every week. Pero tanggapin mo na lang. Kasi at the end of the day, malay mo, bukas pa kalawa, pag pamilya na kayo, magustuhan ka rin niya, hindi naman forever na i-hate ka niya. And if hindi naman magbago yung nanay, at the end of the day, hindi mo siya pakikisamaan mo eh. It's not the mother you're gonna marry. It's not the mother you're gonna live with. So, alam mo yun, yung parang, sabi nga, paglaban mo, if you really love Lawrence and Lawrence will love you, fight it. Kasi ito yung isang hurdle na, mahalagang hurdle, na pag nalampasan nyo, you will be better, bolder, fiercer sa buhay nyo. Okay, dagdag pa na si CM Maguire. Dahil di naman niya mahal yung nanay ng bata, lagi lang silang mag-aaway. Kasi di naman mutual yung feelings, kawawa rin yung bata. Kung makikita niya yung ganong sitwasyon ng magulang niya. I agree with you, CM. Kasi nga, di ba, true yun. Kunyari, nagpakasal ka for the sake of getting married because meron kang pananagutan doon sa nabuntis mo, and this is pertaining to Lawrence, at pinakasalan mo as an excuse dahil nga mapahiya sa mga alta, ano sasabihin ng tao. Alam mo, it goes into that eh. Yung laging, minsan kasi we always, especially our culture, the Filipino culture, we will always think, oh, ano sasabihin ng iba? Ano sasabihin ng mga kaibigan ko? Ano sasabihin ng mga kamag-anak natin? And that should not be it. Kasi I was always told na kung hindi ka naman nila pinapakain, hindi naman sila ang bumubuhay sa'yo, keber, you should not be too tied up with that idea. Kasi in my mind, ito yung paniniwala ko, Sylvia and Lawrence, hindi naman ang tao talaga, sabi ko nga, damn if you do and damn if you don't. Laging may masasabi yan. A good example, di ba, sa mga wedding events nga, kahit na ang laki-laki ng gastos mo, million na, for one reason or another, meron ka pang maririnig na pintas. Either matigas yung karne, hindi masarap yung food, ang gulo-gulo, matagal yung service, laging may pintas. I don't know whether that's cultural. I have really no idea, but maybe you could tell. Kaya nga kahit nga minsan, 'di ba, people spend so much money on their wedding, pero wala pa ring satisfaction, even some of the guests, kasi wala namang perfect eh. Like I told you in the past, the only perfect being is God. Tayo we only strive to be excellent. Yung perfection na, leave it to God kasi siya lang talaga ang perfect. Yun pananaw ko. Tapos kunyari, ang ginawa nga ni Lawrence, kunyari pinaubaya siya ni Sylvia, tapos pinakasalan naman yung babaeng nagdisgrasya niya. Tama si CM. Mag-aaway lang yan kasi the marriage was not built on love. It was built or nagkapakasalan lang dahil nga may nabuntis. I'm not saying na hindi pwedeng matutunan ni Lawrence to really love the girl and the girl vice versa would love Lawrence as well. Pero dahil nga yung marriage was made kasi nga nagkaroon ng one night stand at mayroong naging byproduct, so hindi yun ang foundation ng marriage. In my mind and in what I've seen, marriage, the foundation talaga is love, respect, and of course the communication would be important. Now, but the most important thing about that foundation, if you ask me, ng marriage is love. Kasi minsan, di ba, alam naman natin yun, pag mahal mo yung tao at merong nagawang kasalanan, yun nga yung nakalagay sa Corinthians, di ba? Love is patient, love is kind, love is not selfish, you know. So, pag talagang mahal mo yung tao, minsan may nagagawa namang kasalanan o may nagagawang mali, pero dahil sobrang mahal mo rin ang tao, dahil mahal mo yung taong karelasyon mo, minsan napapagbigyan mo, minsan napapatawad mo, at ang hinihiling mo lang lagi is for them not to do that mistake again, not to repeat such error, di ba? Or lapse in judgment. So, tama, I agree with CM Mendy. Sabi nga niya, mag-aaway lang kapag pinakasalan ni Lawrence yung girl. Tapos, at mas mahirap para doon sa bata growing up na nakikita niya yung parents niya are bickering, fighting all the time simply because mali nga yung simula. Mali pa lang yung pagiging mag-asawa nila simply because na-disgrasya si girl. Okay. Si Gingerberry Purple is watching. Hello, Jing. She's watching from Nevada. So I don't know how the weather is in Nevada right now, but hopefully I'll see you soon in Los Angeles. Okay, yun. So going back sa mga comments nyo, sige, continue pa ang ano natin kay Sylvia. Kasi pagkabasa ko talaga ng letter ni Sylvia, I was taken aback. Kasi sabi ko, bakit niya pinaubaya? Bakit niya i-give up si Lawrence na again, it was a mistake yung kanilang one night stand ng girl at nagkaroon nga ng product na yung bata, pero hindi yun ang rason especially it's not parang Sylvia, ang tanong ko sa iyo, talaga bang mahal mo si Lawrence? Kasi kung mahal mo, do or die, fight yan. Tapos sabi ni Adele, responsibility sa child na lang intindihin. Okay, tama. Yun nga, that's what I said. Tama si Adele, i-echo ko yung question, yung ano natin kanina, na pwede namang suportahan ni Lawrence yung anak ng babae na naka one night stand niya na hindi naman kailangan pakasalan, hindi naman kailangan masira yung relasyon ni Sylvia at saka ni Lawrence. At saka Sylvia, sa totoo lang, 5 years kayong magkasama. Ang naging mistake lang nila based sa letter mo is yun nga, nagkaroon ng one night stand si Lawrence, pero is that enough? Is that enough for you to walk away and to give up? Is that enough? Yung mga listeners natin, is that enough for one mistake for you to give up on a relationship, a 5-year relationship? Pag ba nagkamali ang taong mahal mo, is that enough to give up someone you dearly and deeply love? Is that right to do so? Sabi pa niya, sabi ni Gingerberry, very warm. Summer na nga pala sa States. Tapos sabi ni Adele Ordinario, sabi niya, di ba 5 years na sila? Yes, Adele, 5 years na sila. And the only test talaga nangyari sa kanila, yun nga, itong one night stand ni Lawrence na nagbunga ng bata. So, ang naging talagang problema nila on the onset was the mother, Lawrence's mother, na not approving of her. Dahil nga ang reason, napakababaw for me napakababaw na ang reason lang ng nanay for not liking her is because she's a child out of wedlock. Na hindi naman siya, we all know that it's not our sin. The sin of the father or our parents are not our sins. I mean, hindi naman natin ginusto na maging anak sa labas. Hindi namin natin ginusto na mayroong nangyari sa buhay ng magulang natin na we didn't really ask for it. It just so happened kumbaga, wala, nung sinilang tayo, whatever situation that they're in, yun ang nag-apply na lang sa buhay natin. Now, that being said, so Sylvia, again, fight for it. I think huwag mo nang pahirapan si Lawrence. I think what you need to do is, pag pumunta dyan si Lawrence, have a heart-to-heart talk with him. Intindihin mo, alamin mo, sabi mo kanina sa letter mo, you never ask Lawrence why and when. I think it's about time to ask. I think it's important for you to know kung ano talagang nangyari. Siyempre, kanya-kanyang version at ang nalaman mo lang is through a friend ng nanay ni Lawrence, about the gift. We don't know whether it was deliberate kasi sabi mo nga yung party na yon was given or was thrown in by nung nanay. At as you know, harap-harapan. Yun ang medyo hindi ako agreeable eh. Yung harap-harapan na parang pinapahiya ka nung nanay. And of course, you being you, hindi ka nagsasalita. Kasi masakit yun na sabihin na hindi kanya gusto. Tapos masakit din na sabihin na in front of you, nirereto sa iba. Diba? Na parang to tell you na, yung anak ko would be better off with someone else. I'm glad that you didn't say anything to her. I'm glad that you still respect the mother. I'm glad that hindi mo tinapatan yung pagkabitsera ng nanay, because some people would take that as a sign to, kumano rin. Hindi naman gumante pero magsalita rin. I think I'm appreciative sa'yo na nag-hold back ka sa kaganapan, especially kasi minsan pag ganung insultuhan na, parang nakakainis na yun parang, di ba, parang lalo na pag nilalait yung pagkatao mo in front of other people. Parang, firstly, I would hope that the mother of Lawrence is educated enough to know when and where to speak up. Kasi ang pangit naman na para ipahiya ka in front of other people, even in front of Lawrence, kasi that's a no-no. Intelligent people, rational being people are not like that, na parang ipapahiya. What she could do, if advice ko, if ever the mother, what you could do, if you don't like anybody, huwag naman harap-harapan in front of other people. But what I would suggest is, parang sa trabaho din, you put them aside, you go to dinner, you go have coffee, and you express kung ako yung nanay o tatay ni Lawrence at hindi ko type yung nagiging karelasyon ng anak ko, I would invite them for coffee, one-on-one kami, and I will tell them exactly kung ano yung nagiging problema ko at nakikita ko. I think that's the best way. Josephine Castillo is watching. Hi, Josephine, watching from Katipunan area, Quezon City. So yun, parang, di ba, parang mo naman kasi parang wala naman pinag-aralan. At saka ako kasi I remember what my mom would always say sa mga nanay kasi, of course with some exception, hindi naman pag na anak mo yung lalaki, they not really oftentimes agreeable sa mapapang-asawang babae. Parang ganon. Bihira yung nakikita ko sa mga kaibigan ko na yung kasundong-kasundo nila yung manugang nila. Yung mga biyanan, kasundong-kasundo yung manugang. Laging merong sense of jealousy or may kaunting kurot doon sa nanay kasi parang anak niya to yung anak niya lalaki is having a relationship with another girl, hindi nila matanggap. So, but I always seen people na ganyan yung situation na parang hindi lang type yung kanilang manugang. Pero what I'm saying is nakakita rin ako na mga exception na parang mas anak pa nila yung manugang nilang babae kaysa doon sa tunay na anak nila dahil nga nag-swak yung kanilang personality, nag-swak yung kanilang likes and dislike at meron silang kumbaga meetings of the mind nung biyanan. So yun lagi hino-hope naman ng mga babae is pag nagpaksal sila na maging vibe sila nung mother-in-law. Kasi that can trigger really a problem. Okay, dagdag pa ni Adele Ordinario, yeah, hindi fault ni Sylvia yung ginawa ng magulang niya. Tama. Di ba sabi nga natin, ano yung nagawa ng magulang natin? Hindi natin fault yun. It's almost the same case, divorce siya, pero hindi. She's only 19 and alam na niya. Teka, parang na-miss ko yun, Adela, ulitin ko. Yeah, hindi fault ni Sylvia yung ginawa ng magulang niya. True. Okay? It's almost the same case sa bunso ko because her dad lied na divorce na siya pero hindi pala. She's only 19 and alam na niya. Okay. Okay. Now it makes sense. So nag-lie yung tatay niya na may kasalanan o pagsisinungaling ginawa pero na-divorce na siya. Okay, got it. So yun, di ba? And like what I said earlier, sometimes kasi for our relationships, even friends, or it's always important to be truthful, to be honest. Kasi sabi nga, di ba, the truth will set you free. Yun yung lagi sinasabing cliche na it's a saying na parang, pag nagsalita ka ng totoo, gagandang buhay mo. Alam mo, mas maganda kasi, to be honest, kasi mas magaan sa dibdib, mas magaan sa, parang wala kang dinadala. Alam mo yun? Parang clear your conscience mo for what it's worth. Masaktan man ang masasaktan, pero at least at the end of the day, you did the right thing. Diba? Kumbaga, it will not be a kumbaga, source of a disagreement, source of misunderstanding kapag nakabukingan na. Diba? Like what I said earlier, diba sa teleserye, imagine mo kung wala ng mga secret na yan, mga secret revealed, wala nang magiging story, wala nang magiging conflict, wala nang magiging he said, she said, and life will be as smooth as possible sa daily living natin. So Sylvia, again, maraming salamat sa pagpapaulak mo for us to know about your story. Ang advice ko, like what I've been repeatedly said to you, have a heart-to-heart talk with Lawrence. Understand the predicament that he's in. Tibayan mo and make that 5 years of your relationship with him be a basis, yun ang magiging platform mo where to start all over again. Kung talagang mahal mo si Lawrence, iwag mong paubaya, ipaglaban mo. Kasi kung talagang mahal nyo isa't isa lang to sa mga hurdles o mga problem na pagdadaanan nyo moving forward. Ikaw naman, Lawrence, if I know eventually Sylvia would share this show with you, this particular episode, my advice to you is no secrets. If you truly love Sylvia, yung mistake na yon, yung pagkakamaling yon, it can be forgiven. It would have been easier had you told Sylvia yourself. It would be a lot, kumbaga, less of a problem, less problematic had you came out and told Sylvia what took place that eventful night. Kasi parang ang nangyari kasi kay Sylvia, she found out from other people. She knew about the child at a dinner party given by your mother with her friends. Imagine mo how shocking it is, how devastating it is for Sylvia to find out that the man she had a relationship for the 5 years kept this particular secret from her. Diba? Parang ang sakit kasi nga, diba? Kung talagang mahal ka ni Lawrence, dapat, o mahal mo Lawrence si Sylvia, dapat no hidden secrets, walang mga plano na ginagawa without a communication between the two of you, without a discussion between the two of you, para sa discussion na yan, magkaliwanagan kayo how you're gonna proceed moving forward. Doon naman sa girl na discussion ni Lawrence, again, it takes two to tango, like what Adele was saying. O kung walang mutual consent, kumbaga walang pilitang nangyari, walang maybe it's just the alcohol ang nangyari, pero may mutual consent yan. Kasi sabi nga, things won't happen other than kung finorce ka, but evidently that's not an issue. So in my mind, you need to be responsible as well for the situation you are in. So having a marriage with Lawrence is not gonna resolve anything kasi wala nga yung foundation of love. Wala nga yung pagmamahal sa isa't isa. So yun, yung sa nanay naman ni Lawrence, if in the event that you stumble on this particular episode of the show, iwasan ng pagkabitsera. Kasi if you really want happiness for your kids, and if you're really looking after their welfare, you should be happy that itong si Lawrence found that particular person who makes him happy, who completes him, who would be the mother of his kids. So dapat maging masaya ka na lang for them. Dapat you always look at the positive things. At danay ka rin, magulang ka rin, at dapat maintindihan mo kung ano yung ginawa ng magulang ni Sylvia. It is not her doing. It is not deliberate na ginusto nila na yun ang mangyari at si Sylvia ang mag-carry noon. Some people call it a sin, kung a mistake, kung a disgrasya. Hindi dapat si Sylvia ang sisihin mo because Sylvia is innocent person, and it is not her fault to be an anak sa labas. Yun ang ating show for today. Again, Sylvia, maraming salamat for allowing us to listen and to know that portion of your story. And hopefully, like lagi namin sinasabi, and this is a disclaimer, yung opinion namin, opinion ni Adele, at ng mga ibang nakikinig, si M. Maguire, at si Juliet Marcos. Thank you unang-una sa inyong participation. At least, kahit papano, ay nabigyan natin ng atensyon o pagtingin o pag-unawa yung letter ni Sylvia. And like what I said, all these comments from our viewers and listeners, including myself, sa amin po yun. It is not a reflection on the owners or the station na PHLV Radio. Ito po ay opinion namin. But at the end of the day, Sylvia, it is your life and you could choose the way you want to live it. What we provided is our opinion and our advices. So at the end of the day, it's one life to live on you at ito ay buhay na ikaw lang ang makakasagot which one is the best route to take moving forward. So yun ang ating show for today. Maraming salamat po sa continuous support at walang sawang pakikinig, panonood ng shows ko na Dear Kuya Jush, Ate Jen, at yung Alam Mo Ba with Josh Andowitt. Nakakataba po ng puso when I see that you guys have watched it and viewed it, and especially you shared it among your friends. Kasi po, at least kahit papano, it gives us encouragement to move on with our shows na alam naman po namin na not only us are learning more about people, places, businesses, and people's story, but we know for a fact na kayo rin po ay not only you're being entertained, you are being inspired, motivated, especially not only our shows, but all the other shows ng PHLV Radio. O sabi ni Adele Ordinario, good night here and good afternoon dyan. Totoo yan. Adele, I'll see you one of these days. I'll see you soon. Hopefully in the next week or so. With that po, again, maraming salamat. Walang sawang pakikinig at wala rin pong sawang pagpasalamat sa mga supporters, viewers, and listeners. And like what I said, every time we close the show, be kind, regardless how difficult it is to do so. But nonetheless, be kind and be nice. And you can never go wrong with kindness. And every act of kindness that you do to people, I pretty guarantee it will come back to you in so many ways, in so many different times. So, yun. Magandang gabi po, magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, magandang araw sa inyong lahat. I'm wishing you the best for next week. God bless us all. And good night, good afternoon, and good morning. And see you next time. Bye-bye.
Just like a friend from back home.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
PHLV.